Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. And now it's time for the nation's sharpest opinion. The Rouse Avenue Court has extended Arvind Kejriwal's custody till the 1st of April. And Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party have got a support club in America now. I don't think it's disconnected from Rahul Gandhi's democracy in danger rant when he went to America last year. In fact, it seems very similar to me and quite odd that before a general election, Washington is supporting Kejriwal. The Biden government is supporting the Congress party. What both Kejriwal and Rahul Gandhi should know is that the Cambridge Analytica model of campaigns is over and that the Indian electorate decides the fate of a democratic exercise. But that side back home today, Kejriwal himself threw everything at it. So much so that he began to argue himself before the court. Unfortunately for him, the Delhi court further extended his custody. And if we go by the kind of argument being made by Arvind Kejriwal himself in court, what is most unfortunate is that the in-jail Delhi chief minister is still wound up in the same stale vendetta argument. To convolute his explanations further, Kejriwal is now trying to allege that there's some sort of matrix between electoral bonds and the ED which have come together through the BJP to fix him. No joke, ladies and gentlemen. This is the explanation being given by the Delhi chief minister himself in court for Liquorgate. But what Kejriwal is still not being able to digest, in my view, is that the courts will go solely by the evidence, not by the profile of the accused, the intent or the profits his political opponents may reap, or any theory outside the evidence. Kejriwal's custody will be extended so long as the courts are convinced that the ED's evidence is substantial enough. And as of tonight, there is no observation by the Honorable Court in Kejriwal's arrest case that seems to suggest that the ED's evidence is under question. So, ladies and gentlemen, where is all of this going? My reading is that the ED is quickly moving on establishing the scale of the scam. And I had always said that the ED will not swoop in for arrest unless they're convinced that they will be in court able to substantiate the evidence. We have heard so far that the proceeds were poured. We're being told that they were poured into the Aam Aadmi Party campaign in Goa, but as per the remand access today, a Punjab angle has also surfaced. And the allegation is that there was a certain arm twisting of certain wholesalers in Punjab, and the Enforcement Directorate is set to get to the bottom of it. So as the ED evidence gathering gathers pace, Arvind Kejriwal, in my view, needs to think long and hard if any generalities and emotional appeals can substitute the lack of specifics in terms of answers on Liquorgate. And my view is that the time for all of that is long gone. Kejriwal should get specific if he wants to get out of the ED's custody. American help will not matter. Let's debate.
Legal trouble continues to mount for Arvind Kejriwal in Delhi Liquorgate. Court grants ED 4 more days to grill Delhi CM. Kejriwal, who appeared personally in the court, questioned the grounds of his arrest. He accused the ED of trying to create a smokescreen of AAP being corrupt.
CM sir, LG is saying कि सरकार जो है वो जेल से नहीं चलेगी. What would you like to say on this? LG कह रहे सरकार जेल से नहीं चलेगी.
ये एक पॉलिटिकल षड्यंत्र है, जनता इसका जवाब देगी.
The ED has redirected its gaze towards Punjab.
The Punjab link has emerged in the liquor scam probe. Enforcement Directorate says that excise officials in Punjab were threatening wholesalers here in the national capital. Not just that, they also say that a senior Aam Aadmi Party leader has been under the scanner because there were meetings that were actually taking place in Punjab and in the national capital to implement the same very excise policy in the state of Punjab with the same beneficiaries.
The politics over Kejriwal's arrest continues to rage on.
ईडी के रेड के बाद मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग के अक्यूज्ड कंपनियों का सबसे ज्यादा पैसा भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पास चंदे के रूप में आया है, इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स के रूप में आया है।
आम आदमी पार्टी का राजनीतिक चरित्र ये रहा है कि वो हमेशा ड्रामेबाजी और नौटंकी इस प्रकार की राजनीति तो करते ही हैं, परंतु जिस तरीके से कोर्ट के पावन फ्लोर को भी अपनी राजनीतिक ड्रामा और अपने राजनीतिक नौटंकी का एक अड्डा बनाने का प्रयास किया गया, यह आज पूरे देश ने देखा।
Why is Kejriwal not cooperating with the probe agencies if he has nothing to hide? Let's debate.
And what I'm concerned about is the growing support from the United States of America for Kejriwal. And I want to start by asking Kartikeya, because he's a political commentator and also a lawyer based in the US. Kartikeya, why is America coming out in repeated support for Kejriwal? You know, not once, not twice, repeatedly. After being ticked off by the government as well, repeatedly we are seeing here a lot of support from America for Kejriwal. Why?
Well, Arnab, the US has had a long history of interfering in elections. I mean, we've known that throughout the world, and especially in Asia. So it could be a combination of things, or it could be one of these things. It's either interference or it's moral righteousness. You know, speaking morality from the pulpit has been America's habit. Or worse, it could actually be that America stands to lose something in regards to its interference goals in the elections of India with Kejriwal's arrest. Kejriwal's funding in the past in his organizations has been dubious. You know, he's received funding from Ford Foundation. Ford Foundation has close links with, the so-called US deep state. And also connect that with the recent revelation, although I don't take him at face value at all, but if at all there's some grain of truth in the recent revelation by Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, that Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party were recipients of money from Khalistani elements. Connect that with the fact that Gurpatwant Singh is, at least it is widely believed that he is an intelligence asset for the United States, or at least he is a useful person for the United States. And him throwing Kejriwal under the bus because Kejriwal now is no longer of value, or doesn't seem to be any longer of value because of all these corruption allegations against him. And then the US standing up for him to essentially embarrass India in the global stage, and also to try to interfere in the elections. That could be another connection. I mean, it might be worth probing that as well. But as of now, based on evidence so far, it just seems to be that US is back to its regular habit of moral interference and sermonization to the world at large. Whereas in fact, it's they themselves have an issue with how unfairly Donald Trump has been prosecuted, and I would even say persecuted in a sense, by misusing the laws and with these crazy bond amounts. And no matter what you think about Donald Trump, whether you support him politically or not, electorally or not, doesn't matter. The fact is that Donald Trump is a principal opposition candidate, and the way they are bringing up one charge after another against it, the U.S. does not see any issue with that. Any problem with that, but there's an issue with a fair process that is actually going on in India. And if you think about it, if the ED demand gets over and there is nothing really to justify his continued arrest, Kejriwal will be released by the courts on bail. So again, I don't see why the US is prematurely making these statements when really the process is going on according to the law of the land.
Okay. I'll get Anmol into this. Tuhin, and coming to you, Akashdeep, in a minute. Anmol, it would be, in my view, very appropriate if the Aam Aadmi Party as an Indian political party were to put out a press statement telling America to stay out of our internal affairs. This is getting too much. And I think it will blow back against you. People are angry that, why are you allowing America to get into Indian politics, question Indian courts, question the Indian legal system? And what benefit can you possibly gain out of something like this? It will not work for you. In fact, the little support you have, they will also be angry that you are accepting American support. Now, you can say that we didn't ask for the support, but you are the beneficiary of their support. And it's a very ugly situation, isn't it? To be the beneficiary of American support, you need support in India. You don't need support in Miami or from New York tonight. So I think you should put out a statement, and maybe you will tonight. Maybe you will make that statement right now, Anmol.
And at the outset, I want to make it clear that the US must refrain from getting into our internal issues of our country. But at the same time, we must also consider the fact that they are our allies, and that Prime Minister Modi few months back went to the US and said that we have more stronger partnership in comparison to the past. We must also keep in mind that the way central government agencies are working right now at the behest of Bharatiya Janata Party, which is a matter of great concern, and the people of this country is slowly realizing the reality behind all this drama and all this false implication of opposition party leaders.
But do you need American
But,
support? I mean, you must make a categorical statement of it. I think the
I've
point
clearly
tonight is this,
stated
Tuhin,
that
and we
I've
need
clearly
to
stated
really
that
talk
the
about
US
it.
must refrain
How
commenting on our
people were
internal
angry in
issues.
India when Rahul Gandhi went to America and he said that the government of America must interfere in India. But right now, three times the government of America, State Department, all coming out in support of Aam Aadmi Party. Kartikeya says that you got Ford Foundation funding in the past. There is an American support base, American government support base, quasi-government American support base that the Aam Aadmi Party gets. Now the American government comes out in your support. They must be your worst enemies, because with every statement they are making, you're going to lose ground here. India is going through a nationalist renaissance. People are very, very assertive about India's sovereign rights. You cannot be the beneficiary of foreign interference in our sovereign affairs. Tuhin, the issue is, why is USA backing Kejriwal, Tuhin? It's an extraordinary situation.
Well, Arnab, the US and the world needs to realize that India's sovereignty is non-negotiable. You know, of course, in the past, we have had a Congress government which, after every bomb blast, would run to the US seeking their intervention and requesting them to act against Pakistan. But this is a different government, a very confident government, which even at the time when Article 370 was abrogated, did it with a lot of acumen and ensured that there was no interference in India's internal affairs. So for the US to comment on the judicial process in India is absolutely non-acceptable. Having said that, India considers US a very close ally. You have differences of opinion with the best of friends, and in such a situation, it helps to be absolutely frank with the friend, which is what India has communicated to the US. Now, like you mentioned very correctly, you know, probably it's the handiwork of some of the woke lobbies operating within the state government, State Department in US. But I think we have politicians over here to blame. People like Rahul Gandhi, who have been relentlessly traveling abroad in the last 2 years and building up this facade or this, you know, distorted image of India, that in India institutions have failed. And like you mentioned, in one of his visits, he had actually asked the US to interfere. Last week, when the Congress did a press conference and when they completely spread misinformation about their funds being frozen by the court, which again was a blatant lie. You know, these are the people who are giving a cue to the US to you know, possibly believe that it is okay to interfere. So I think Indian political parties, especially these disgruntled opposition parties, need to behave responsibly at this point of time. And I appreciate the AAP spokesperson over here taking a clear stand that the US intervention is not appreciated.
That as well.
I hope the Congress also does that, because the primary culprit over here is the Congress
that's
party,
the breaking news, in
which
fact,
over the last 2 years has been besmirching. The primary culprit over here is the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi, who over a period of last 2 years have been, very intentionally besmirching India's reputation globally, questioning India's institutions from abroad. And I think, they need to apologize and make the stand clear today.
Absolutely, I agree. Now I'd like to go to the political issue today. Akashdeep, the Rouse Avenue court today further remands Arvind Kejriwal. He's been arrested and there are arguments made they are not working. First of all, the remand copy says that Kejriwal is not providing the passwords to his digital devices. If Kejriwal has nothing to hide, his computers, his phones, his laptops, he's not giving the passwords. Why? How does this help his own case?
Okay, Arnabji, first of all, today is a very sad day for your journalism because you have been vociferously talking about the Air India scam of Praful Patel since 2017 when he was in NCT. Today, CBI gave a clean sheet after he joined Bharatiya Janata Party. So today is a sad day for your journalism specifically because you have reported it vehemently till date. Remember Praful Patel. So, okay, coming back to the liquor scam. Arnab ji, today I was very happy to see that the court quashed the case against Kejriwal regarding that he can be CM or not CM. The court said that you will have to show us some bar or prohibition that prohibits him from running as CM. There is no legal bar for Kejriwal to become CM. So one thing we are clear that he can continue legally being CM, as the honorable court said. Coming back to why about the passwords, I don't know about it. But the interesting factor is that today Kejriwal made a statement, very important statement.
But why not? No, why not? Why not? Okay, why not? Just hold on one minute, Akashdeep. I want to go point by point. And I'm glad that you recognize the fact that all these scams have been broken by me, and I stand by everything that I reported in the Air India scam. And I have not given a clean sheet to Praful Patel. Now, I'd like to go to Anmol on this point. Anmol, Akashdeep says that I don't know why Kejriwal is not providing his password and login details. Can you explain why that is the case? Because when that happens, then the ED gets an upper hand in the court. The ED then gives an impression that you're concealing evidence.
Arnab, today while addressing the court in person, Mr. Kejriwal made some startling revelations indicating the nefarious plot of the Enforcement Directorate to arrest him in a false and fabricated case, wherein after more than 2 years, not a single penny has been recovered. 264 witnesses in ED case, 164 witness in CBI case, 35,000 paid charge sheet in ED case, 25,000 in CBI case. But still, they are basing their case on 4 approvers. The first among them made 8 statements in which he did not make a single mention of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. The 9th statement, he retracted from the earlier statements, donated 60 crore rupees to Bharatiya Janata Party. In return, the favors he got was that ED did not oppose his bail. His name is Sharad Reddy. The second is Maguntha Srinivas Reddy. He made 3 statements, first on 16 November 2022, the other on 27 July 2023. Out of 3 statements, in the initial 2 statements, he very categorically said that he has never met Mr. Kejriwal in regard to this so-called liquor scam. But the reason why he retracted from the statement, because his son, Raghav Maguntha, who's the 3rd approver in this case, was arrested on 10th of February 2023. And he was not enlarged on bail for 5 months. When both of them made a similar statement on 16/7/2023, his son got bail. The favors they got were that ED did not oppose the bail, and he has been given a parliamentary ticket from TDP, who's an ally partner of Bharatiya Janata Party. And Mr. Modi will go and campaign for him in the upcoming elections. And the 4th and the last approver is C. Arvind. C. Arvind, who only gave some documents related to excise policy, which no one is aware about.
This is your assertion. I'm looking at the ground situation.
Arnab, please.
Anmol, listen. Anmol, I agree with you. Kejriwal has accused the ED of nefarious motives. But I need you to look at the remand copy and along with it the observations of the court. The observations of the court The remand copy says Kejriwal was directly involved in the formulation of the excise policy. This policy was drafted considering favors to be granted to the South Group and formed in collusion with Vijay Nair, Manish Sisodia and representatives of the South Group. Now, Tuhin, have you painted yourself into a corner to make that very major charge? And let's be clear, it's a very major charge that he is the kingpin. They are saying, forget this other things about, whether you can take an approver at face value or not, or whether this particular group contributed to the BJP, which does not go in your favor, let me tell you, Tuhin.
Arnab,
But have you got the proof, or are you in the process of collecting proof? See, my point being, Tuhin, if after arresting him, one minute, if after arresting him, if asking for further remand, you can only up to a point ask for his continued custody. Let me repeat. You can only up to a limited point ask for his continued custody. And what happens is that today the Rouse Avenue court order says that today there appear to be sufficient reasons to permit the further custodial interrogation of the accused, namely Arvind Kejriwal, particularly keeping in view the submissions that he is required to be confronted with the material collected and statements recorded so far in the course of the investigation. Now, say 1 more week passes, 2 more weeks pass to him. You cannot come back to the court after 2 weeks, say around the 10th or 15th of April, and come and say, my lord, I need more time to further question him, given that there are submissions and I need to confront him regarding those submissions. Finite time will be given to you. And the political impact of this, Tuhin, is if after this finite time, the court says, while we are not giving him a clean chit, we are giving him bail, then he will come out and he will take political advantage of this in election season, naturally. So my point to you is, Tuhin, have you found a case against him or have you found a conclusion against him? If you found a conclusion and are building the case,
I'm sure,
then you're not on strong ground. Yes, Tuhin.
No, Arnab, I'm sure the ED officials are cognizant of the implications that you have just mentioned. Point is, Arvind Kejriwal's complicity has been corroborated by none other than Arun Nair, his ex-OSD, and the ex-OSD of Manish Sisodia. You know, he has been privy to all the meetings where the new liquor policy was being devised. So I think we need to wait. Before his arrest, it was okay to debate, whether he's complicit or not. Our allegations are of a political nature. For us, we see him as the prime architect of this entire scam, because if you look at the way the Delhi cabinet was constructed, 95% of the portfolios were distributed between 2 ministers, both of whom are in jail. You think anything can move in Delhi without the involvement of Arvind Kejriwal? Even for a small water tank, he issues notifications from jail. So I think his complicity is based upon corroboration by Arun Nair and by the ex-OSD of Manish Sisodia, and I'm sure the ED officials will be handling it, in the way they deem fit in front of the court of law.
I'm sure, but you didn't answer my question. Do you have a case or are you building a case?
No, they don't have any case.
No, I think we have.
It's all drama. Zero case.
Like I mentioned, his complicity is very clear. No, it is Aam Aadmi Party, which for every day in the life of Aam Aadmi Party is a new episode in the reality show. Yesterday, when Sunita Kejriwal was so categorical in her assertion that Arvind Kejriwal is going to make some explosive revelations in court today,
Sinha, this was not the question.
In fact, he had
Mr.
9
Sinha,
summons.
This was not the question.
He had 9 summons. No, are you the anchor? Are you the anchor? I have answered it in the first sentence itself, based upon the corroboration by Arun Nair and ex-OSD of Manish Sisodia. We believe that Arvind Kejriwal is the prime architect of the scam. And the ED is competent enough to establish it.
But who has stopped ED to make such claims in the court?
Similarly, you don't have.
No, but I want to have a go at. I want to have another go at Akashdeep. Akashdeep today said to me. Akashdeep said to me. No, Akashdeep, I want to continue to have a go at you. Akashdeep, you said to me that it's a very sad day for me because we were part of the group that exposed the Air India scam. And today, the CBI has closed the case against Praful Patel, and you're saying that I should be very sad. Well, let me tell you one thing. Unlike your party, the Aam Aadmi Party, which had exposed the Congress and is down on a deal with them, I don't do deals with people who I have exposed. So please also keep that in mind. Ask your party how many deals they have done and how many alliances they have done with the Congress party. Yeah. Okay, you don't, but that question applies to Anmol. Now I have I have news that the gangster Mukhtar Ansari has died of a heart attack. And that breaking news is just coming in. I mean, his condition deteriorated. He was taken from prison to hospital. But despite the best efforts of the doctors, he's died of a heart attack. That's gangster Mukhtar Ansari has died of a heart attack. That's breaking news coming in right now. I'll give one more word on this. But I do appreciate, Kartikeya, the fact that the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson said tonight, I don't need American support. That's all right. Yes. That's good.
No,
and the Americans should also get that message.
Worth appreciating. But Arnab,
Kartik, you wanted to add something.
I will say one line. The only reason Kejriwal is arrested is because he kept evading summons. So, which means that the ED's case now is that they need further interrogation of Kejriwal to corroborate whatever evidence that they have. So, obviously, no one is saying it cannot be anyone's case that Kejriwal is completely conclusively guilty. The whole purpose of the summons was to question Kejriwal to corroborate all of these evidences that the ED has so far. And because Kejriwal did not cooperate with it, they had to seek interrogation. They had to seek custodial interrogation. And again, if Kejriwal does not interrogate right now, then his custody might even be extended. But I'll say one line. It might be in Kejriwal's favor. And the reason is because he gets to live this reality TV show every single day, with all this tamasha around him, because he's working from jail, he's the CM from jail, so he's getting this free publicity all around. So it seems to me that it is in his interest to keep being in jail,
Kartik,
and to keep evading
this
questions.
This is the dedication which he has for the people of Delhi, for the work which he is doing for the people of Delhi.
What dedication?
He's not a convict. He has been framed in a false and fabricated case.
Obviously, he's not a convict.
It only shows he was not working at all when he was out of jail.
Delhi High Court has dismissed the PIL today.
But if he has nothing to hide, sir, why is he not cooperating? That is the question.
Shows
if he has
that while he was away,
why is he not cooperating? Mr. Modi, when he was Chief Minister of Gujarat, he went before the SIT for 9 hours. He answered every question.
I think on that I will agree. Anmol, I'll tell you. You ask. No, I'll tell you, Anmol. The mistake that has been made here, and I will be clear with you on this. First of all, I want to say, Anmol, that you know that the law of diminishing returns can start applying. The more days go, the more people forget. And you know how a big deal it was when Sanjay Singh was arrested, but it was a less of a big deal than when Manish Sisodia was arrested, and that was less of a big deal than when Satyendra Jain was arrested. Now, with everybody in jail, if Kejriwal is looking at a longer custody, a long time in jail may not work for you. You know, this whole wearing yellow T-shirts, going in yellow cars, or doing this will work for a few days, but then there's a danger here. Are you not concerned here, very clearly, that you're going to miss a general election? You're going to miss him on the streets campaigning. Your party is being broken and eaten into. Many party leaders have left. And therefore, somewhere, even in your responses tonight, there is more of a sense of despondency, because you are looking at a longer period of custody than you may have anticipated. And it's different if Manish Sisodia is in custody or Sanjay Singh is in custody. But if Kejriwal continues in custody for as long as they have been, you must start weighing in on the implications of that.
Arnab, the streets of Delhi are reverberating with the slogans of "मैं भी केजरीवाल." हमारे जुनून का इल्म नहीं है आपको। जो 2011 में इस देश ने देखा था, वो दोबारा देखेगा। इस तरह का support, the kind of support which you saw in 2011, you'll get to know when you'll see the results of Delhi elections.
Where? I don't see. You're seeing the kind of support you see where? Tell me physically where. I saw where.
So I request you to come to Ramlila Maidan on 31st of March, where we are holding a rally and where you will see entire Delhi in support of Mr.
That's a
Kejriwal.
controlled political
Because
rally.
everyone know. Because everyone
but
in
that's a
Delhi know
controlled
that
political rally. That's not
what
mass support.
Enforcement Directorate, working at the behest of Bharatiya Janata Party, is doing is absolutely wrong.
Arnabji,
That
I
they are
would
framing
like to
an
request
honest
you
and
to come to
upright
Old Delhi.
sitting Chief Minister of Delhi, who is working tirelessly for the people. His crime is that he has given free electricity, free water, and a number of schemes which are benefiting each and every citizen of Delhi. That is why Bharatiya Janata Party is scared. And that is the reason why they don't
if his
want
name comes
anyone.
up in an ongoing
Tuin
investigation, he cannot be given a pardon just because
Tuin wants to
he's a
respond.
minister who distributes all this free electricity.
Arnab, you know, I think
sorry for
Aam Aadmi
interfering.
Party
Tuin
needs to
can
rise
respond.
above
He has
to be
its
investigated.
victimhood narrative.
And
The
as an
victim-
upright- as an
No,
upright
I think
chief
Aam
minister, he has
Aadmi
to
Party
cooperate. Why is
needs
he
to
not
rise
cooperating?
above
That's the big question.
its victimhood narrative. This was a party which 12 years ago had come on the pretext of cleaning Indian politics. This was a political party which used to hold press conferences, which used to, make all kinds of baseless allegations against leaders and demand resignation based on that. Do you remember how they made baseless allegations against Nitin Gadkari ji? And this is the party when Arvind Kejriwal goes to jail after refusing 9 summons. How many times had Arvind Kejriwal had to apologize to political leaders for making baseless allegations? Today, when he's behind the bar, he refuses to quit. So I think there needs to be some amount of responsibility. They are saying there is support for Kejriwal. I have seen videos where their limited Karyakartas are chasing and running after people, requesting and pleading them to take their pamphlets. This is the reality.
Your leader don't have the courage to face.
Do you know?
Well, I tell you, can I just say this? Can I just say this? I think we should also say, I think if it is said the top man said USA backs Kejriwal, it should also say Kejriwal tells the US to mind its own business. Viewers, the situation is whatever, it's been an even fight. But the situation is legally complicated for Kejriwal.
For the first time, Aam Aadmi Party is going to win Lok Sabha in Delhi. I predict that on your channel, Arnab. See.
You are delusional. You are delusional. You will say you will form the government. Today, your only member of parliament from Punjab has quit your party. And trust me, you will not get more than 1 or 2 seats from Punjab, if at all. See, there is a larger point, Arnab, there is a larger point. They blame us that because of the PMLA amendment in 2018, that, it is because of the PMLA amendment in 2018 that they have been done in. Fact is that amendment was essentially done for terror suspects.
Okay.
Today, they need to ponder, they need to introspect that were they indulging in the kind of activities which terror organizations do? How did Aam Aadmi Party, which was formed 12 years ago,
I hear you there, but ladies and gentlemen,